Hey there, Sandi Star Wellness. I'm here with Stephanie from Designs for Health. We're going to go ahead and share screen. What we want to talk about is the 14-day group reset. I'm super excited about starting January 10th. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a clinical nutritionist and a longtime colleague of Sandi's. I'm excited for this too. I'm personally going to be doing this reset along with Sandi and everyone else. And I just feel like it's a really good time. So many of us are beyond ready for it.
Right? Yeah. I will be doing this too, along with everybody else. And I think it's really important to really, right, walk the talk. It's not the first time I've done a detox, but I think it's really important that we can walk through this together as a group as well. So, I mean, there's
It's more fun
reasons.
as a group, Sandi, right? Isn't it fun when we all do it together and
Yes,
kind of keep each other on track?
of course, we have to have accountability, right?
For sure, it helps.
Especially with something like this, because it's 2 weeks and it's there's a weekend in between, which will be challenging for some people. And you know what? It's really good to do it as a group. I think, again, accountability and just, having a support system and things that we can share in our group calls that they won't be recorded, of course, but they are an area that we can share our challenges and our wins and questions and all of that. So I'm really excited about it. There are reasons to detox, right? So we won't get too technical, but what I will say is, make sure we're in gallery mode. What I would say with detoxing is a lot of times we do phase one super easy. Okay. Liver starts, processing things, and let's just say toxins are kind of in our system, they're releasing. Well, then you go to phase two, which is the most important thing. And that's what this reset is about, getting through phase two to get things out of your body. We don't want things going back into the system, because they can absorb into fat, into cells, and all sorts of things. And the liver gets really overloaded. And so what happens, and we'll talk about phase one, phase two, I think that's really important. I'm sure Stephanie will agree. And then I also want to go through why I chose Designs for Health. It's really the Veggie Clean Plus program, why I chose that. And we'll really talk about those nutrients in this kit. And then we'll jump into Prop 65, because I think that's really important to talk about, especially in California. So our 14-day group reset, which is a detox, a cleanse, a reset, whatever you want to call it. I think detox is kind of a scary word sometimes for people. So I like reset. We'll have the kit included with this group calls. We have Well World, which is an awesome app that you would download. You get meal plans, you get everything in this app, and you get to track everything. You send messages, you get messages. It's just such a cool thing. So that's included. And then, of course, I'm included with this reset, and we'll be jumping on, I think I set up 4 Zoom calls. One before we start. So make sure you get your kit before we start. January 7th, I want to do a call with everybody, just so everybody's ready. Make sure you have all your questions answered. You've got your kit, you've got your Well World app, everything in place, so that come Monday, you're ready to go. So,
And Sandi, again, you know why I like that it's called a reset? Because we know everyone needs to detox, all of us periodically, and
yes.
But even for people who are just looking for a way to kind of refresh their health and get back on a healthier track, it's a great easy 2 weeks to reset your habits, to feel lighter, more energetic, and of course detoxify. But in general, as a reset, it's fantastic.
Absolutely, and it is. It's a great way to start the new year.
Yeah.
I think these are great to do once or twice a year, just to give yourself a reset, kind of clear some of those habits that we tend to let creep up on us sometimes, right?
Yep.
And then also, when we do clear and cleanse a little bit, we think clearer, We give our body a rest. There's so many amazing reasons why, and we want to do it in a healthy way as well. So that's another reason to do this as a group, with guidance and with really good quality products, right? So
Absolutely.
that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, so you get the entire kit. Again, daily inspiration, calls, all of that with this program. It is all inclusive. That's kind of way to round that up, right? So, Well World, we talked about that. This is something I've been using with my patients, and I love it. It is a way to track everything, to put a diet lifestyle plan in there, accountability, messaging can be done through there. It's just really a great app. And again, Designs for Health created this, and I find it to be a phenomenal tool as a practitioner that I can pass on to people that I'm working with. So do you want to touch on Well World a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it too. I think of Well World as like a health coach in your pocket. It's there to guide you every day. You know, even though this is only a 14-day reset, it's easy to go awry, go astray, or, kind of get off track. And Well World helps keep you on track. It's going to be your accountability, because every day you're going to track that you're taking your supplements, drinking your shakes, eating the right foods. You track if you went off track, if you ate something that was not part of the elimination diet or whatever. You track that too, and Sandi can keep track of your progress as you go along. So it kind of helps keep you accountable, and it's going to send you inspiration, reminders. It's just going to be that thing that helps keep you on track, so you're not on your own for 2 weeks. Of course, you're going to have your group calls as well. So there's really no way to go off track during these 2 weeks. Everyone's going to be so well guided and supported.
Yeah, Well World's awesome. I obviously have it on my phone and give myself plans here and there too.
I do too, because I love to get the reminders. It reminds me to drink water and
yeah. You can track water, you can track exercise, you can track bowel movements, you can track mood, you can track meditation. You can link it with, I think, the Fitbit, right? So you can
Fitbit, Apple Health, or anything that runs through Apple Health or a Fitbit.
Right.
Will automatically track your movement.
Yeah, it's awesome. On the back end, at the end of this, it's really cool because we can get a report that will show with graphs and all kinds of fun stuff, very visual, how you did. So we'll do that at the end, and you'll definitely get, we'll review that too. So that's a cool thing about it. Okay, so phase 1 and 2 detox. Again, we had mentioned before, right? Phase 1, most people are doing it pretty well. Phase 2, that's a whole nother story. And so with these products, it's going to be really, really beneficial. We could, definitely get progress by just removing certain foods, which is a great start for some people. Like, let's just say sugar. Remove sugar, you'd be amazed how well your body responds to that. But then above and beyond, what about what's in your body? How are we going to pull it out? So,
and Sandi, a lot of times people don't realize too that these toxins are hiding out. We might not, and we feel them in sneaky ways, right? It's our headache here or there. It's our fatigue. We think some of these things are normal, or we don't know what they're coming from, but these toxins are hiding out in our fat tissue, in our, in our bodies, because we're not getting to that phase 2, like you said, of detoxification, to actually shuttle the toxins out of the body.
That's true. Yeah. And the liver gets pretty abused, right? The liver is always so abused and kind of forgotten, right?
Poor liver.
I know. It's like I always have to remind people, we've got to look at liver support too. What are we doing to help, that liver?
Our livers are working overtime.
Kind of do what it needs to do, because it takes on everything in the body, including hormones. So yeah, it's one of those organs that we definitely want to pay attention to. So yeah, so this was formulated, again, Designs for Health, to support both phases. So let's get to the product itself. So this is what it looks like, right? It's the beautiful box you get in the mail.
It's fun when you get your box in the mail. You're like, oh, I got my kit, and you put it on the counter and you feel like ready to go.
You got your kit. Yeah, you also get a 14-day program with it. You can kind of look through it, answers questions, gives you a good outline. And then you get your protein powder for 2 meals a day, and then you get your supporting supplements. So that's all in the kit, plus a little shaker bottle if you're on the go, right?
Shaker
Busy.
bottle for your
Throw it
smoothie. Yeah.
together in the shaker and you're on your way. It's not complicated at all, which is
No,
great.
actually, Sandy, I really like when when I do this cleanse, how easy it makes things. It simplifies things. I don't have to think about cooking an elaborate dinner. I just make my shake. It's very satiating, it satisfies really well. So it simplifies things for a couple weeks.
Yeah, especially as a mom, right?
Yeah.
On the go all the time. Yeah, a mom and working, and right.
Totally.
Which kind of brings me to the VeggieCleanse Plus, plus the other 2 supporting supplements. And when we take those 2 meal replacements, it's giving us the nutrients that we need to not worry about being deficient in anything, right? So this is kind of a small picture, but if you want to highlight some of these nutrients, there's a lot of stuff in just the powder alone.
So the VeggieCleanse Plus is the powder. That's what's going to come in the little powder packet that you're going to make twice daily smoothies out of. And those are meal replacement smoothies. Now, Sandy, I don't know how you feel. I tell people if they are genuinely hungry, they can still eat more food as long as it follows the guidelines of the what to eat, what not to eat.
Sure.
But it is a true meal replacement smoothie. You can see it's got 17 grams of protein. It's got 11 grams carb. It's got some fiber. So it is going to satiate. And like you said, it has a robust, array of nutrients. So you're getting all your kind of multivitamin and mineral type nutrients. But then on the right-hand column, you can see there's a long list of liver supportive, detox supportive nutrients like glutathione, like milk thistle. These are things that it's an amazing list here. Of nutrients to help you with detoxification, fruit and veggie blend. So it's all in there in a drink.
Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, again, if you do want to add to it, you can add to it to a smoothie to help you just feel more satisfied or have a little something on the side with it or right after it. So it's not so strict that you can't have some flexibility. There is a list of what you can have, and it's clean eating is what it is. So it's not like you're going to be starving or can't. It's like we always look at what can you have, not what can't you have. So I always like to look at that, right? It's not like we're taking everything away. Yeah.
And I like to jazz up the smoothie myself. I'll add some frozen berries. You can do a little bit of nut butter or different things to kind of jazz up the flavor or make it handful of greens, whatever.
Yeah, you can also use unsweetened nut milk. Like I use unsweetened almond milk or cashew milk. I add berries as well. I like the berry blend you can get. It is lower on the glycemic index, which is helpful. You can even add flax, hemp, or chia if you want. That'll give you more fibers and protein and kind of bulk it up a little bit for you. So there are definitely things you can do. You can add a little bit of banana, things like that. So again, lots of things. Cool. All right. So, and then amino detox is one of the supporting supplements in the packet that you also get. So that's got some also glutathione and some awesome stuff in it as well. Which is
that's kind of a detox powerhouse.
Yes, exactly. And repair, honestly. Think about glutathione, right?
Absolutely.
Tissue repair.
For anyone who doesn't know, glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It is truly a wonder antioxidant. And I can't say good things about glutathione, but that's a whole other presentation.
It's good. So my question too, and I know we're going to get asked this, is what if they're taking a bunch of supplements already? It's like you kind of get what you really need. There might be a few others we can look at depending on the dose of, for example, D3, what do we want to add to it? So that's something I will work with you one-on-one to make sure you're not overdoing on supplements. Sometimes, honestly, it's good to just set things aside, do this for 2 weeks, and then reassess and look at what you were doing before. And that's a whole nother thing, but you're not going to lose nutrients in this detox at all. So that's awesome. Yeah, glutathione,
great,
amazing antioxidant. Okay, then we have detox, antioxidants. What is it?
Yeah, this one's just loaded with antioxidants. You know, you want to support the body when we are detoxifying. I don't know if
Yes.
anyone's ever like done a detox in the past, and sometimes it doesn't feel so good during the process because the body is, yeah, moving these toxins out of hiding and through the body. And so sometimes, so detox antiox helps neutralize kind of those effects and helps really handle those toxins as they're coming out of hiding. So when you take the detox antiox with all of the things that are going to help pull out the toxins, you're really going to help your body deal with the toxins on their way out. So you should feel less, you know, you may feel still some detox symptoms in the early days of a detox, but this detox antiox will really help.
Yeah, that's good.
Help you feel better as these toxins are moving through the body on their way out.
Yeah, and these are also very supportive for phase 2 for the liver. And then, you know, things like obviously vitamin C, good also immune system support, zinc, definitely immune system support, manganese, selenium. Selenium's fabulous for thyroid, right? These are precursors that are important to support the process of the detox. So again, it's a definitely positive support. So,
and Sandy, look at those first 3 ingredients: vitamin C, biotin, and zinc. These are all skin supportive nutrients too. So I'd love to hear everyone's feedback at the end of the detox about their glowing skin.
Right? Yeah. I think I will actually have people take a before and after picture of just themselves.
A good detox can really help clear skin.
Of course. And, you know, really think about like, what is your goal overall? Where are you at to begin with? What are you, you know, dealing with or kind of frustrated with? And then what do you want to get out of it, right? And then on the other side, oh, this is fat. I feel great. Now what, you know? So that's where we don't want to drop the ball. We want to keep moving forward with some other things we can do for sure for health. So awesome. Great ingredients. I love it for sure. Okay. So I want to talk about quality. I can't tell you how many times people, and we talked about this before, but how many times people really don't think about what quality, what they're buying, right? Or where they're buying it, or there's no regulations. Let me just say that, which is probably a good thing, because if there was, it would be, you know, frustrating for us on the nutraceutical side. Only because of the FDA being involved. But when
on the bright side, we have access to supplements, right? We can easily access supplements, but Sandy's right. They're very unregulated. And so you can have something on the shelf at Walgreens or Rite Aid or wherever, and you think, oh, well, it's here. It's at my pharmacy. It must work. It must be great. It might, you know, we trust these things, but we always have to take a closer look at the labels, like you see here. I mean, we really have to look at what's inside and scrutinize it a little bit, right, Sandy? Yeah. No,
that's good. In fact, this is good for you to chat the difference in the quality. And this is another reason why I do nutraceuticals, is because I know they're third-party tested. I know the ingredients are quality. I monitor supplements with people because I feel it's really important that we know why we're taking something, how much we're taking, right? What else we're taking, what medications we're taking. There's a lot that goes into this that we need to be more serious about, more kind of aware of. So Stephanie, I know you used a good example with Centrum. A lot of people take this. A lot of people buy it at Costco, right?
Absolutely.
So definitely a difference in that with the twice daily, which I take. I love that. The twice daily, I love. One reason I love it is because you take 1 capsule twice a day, not 7, right?
Yeah.
And you see all the nutrients that are on the label, which I think is fabulous. So I do recommend this one a lot.
Yeah, this is a popular one. But when you put it side by side with a Centrum, right, it's just something we're not necessarily used to or kind of trained to look at these labels. But I'll just point out a couple of the big things that so people can understand the difference between what you'll find at a drugstore and something like Designs for Health is only going to be available through your healthcare practitioners like Sandy. So with her guidance, right? Because it is important, like you said, to see what else is someone taking, what are their medications. We don't want any interactions. It's always best to be guided, even with nutritional supplements. So the Centrum on the left-hand side, there's some highlights there of ingredients that we want to just take a second look at. Modified cornstarch, blue number 2, that's a synthetic dye. I don't know why they put synthetic dyes in these capsules.
Yeah.
Red number 40. That could be a whole other presentation too, but what red number 40 can do to your brain is just wild. Talc. And then there's a red circle there around folic acid. The point here being that folic acid is a synthetic form of folic acid. The body does need folic acid, but we want to take it in a methylated form, or in other words, an absorbable, bioavailable form that our body can actually use. That's not going to build up and mimic a toxin in our body. So if you look on the right-hand side, we look at the twice daily multi, for example. All those nutrients are going to be in bioavailable forms. The minerals are chelated, so you can absorb them better. The short list of other ingredients, we're not seeing cornstarch and dyes. And the last thing there that's really important is that we're seeing nutrients in clinically relevant doses. So you know, your average person may not know what's clinically relevant. That's why you have Sandi. But are we getting 50 milligrams of vitamin C so that we can put vitamin C on the label and it looks good? Or are we getting here 500 milligrams of vitamin C that's going to have an actual impact on your body, right? So these are the kinds of things that make your practitioner nutraceuticals stand out above what you're going to get on the drugstore shelf.
No, that's good. I'll just make a note on the folic acid. If there's something called MTHFR, it's a mutation in the genetic sequence in your body, meaning folic acid can harm you. I have the mutation, and when I have done folic acid, I used to buy nutritional yeast with folic acid, and I get these headaches. I'm like, why do I keep getting a headache every time I eat this stuff? Then I realized, kind of 2 and 2 put together, I had the test done. I've written an article on this because I think it's crazy how many people actually have this, right?
I think it's more than half the population.
It is. It's in the 60%, maybe higher.
Have that mutation, yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically kind of like it affects glutathione, antioxidants, a whole process in your body of just the sequencing that goes on in your body. So folic acid can actually be more harmful than good. And then you don't want to really do anything synthetic anyway, right? That's why we do bioidenticals with hormones, not synthetic hormones, right? But yeah, so folic acid can actually do more harm than good. You do not want to have that. You want to use folate, as Stephanie said. That alone is a big reason to really start looking at labels. The cheaper the product, the cheaper the ingredients. And not saying that twice daily multi is expensive. It is not expensive. That's the other, whatever you call it, where.
But it's so true. I mean, but it's true. And sometimes you're gonna have ingredients that maybe cost a little bit more than what you'll find at Costco. But you have to think, do you want to take a cheaper bottle of something that's gonna not help your body, not have the intended outcome, or potentially cause harm, for example, acid scenario, or do you want to pay a little bit more to get something that this is going to work, and when it works, you achieve your goal. Yeah.
And the other thing I do when I go over supplements with people is I really will go through all the supplements, and depending on their budget too, because maybe you just take it twice daily and you don't add all this other stuff on initially, right?
Yeah, well, that's what's great about a multi or some of these
formulas. It's a good baseline, absolutely.
A lot in one product, right. Yeah.
So yeah, but I will say it is not a pricey thing to invest in when you're looking at nutraceuticals versus supplements. So something to keep in mind, because I know a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be so expensive. Only if somebody gives you 20 supplements at once,
Yeah.
Which I don't believe in. I think we're always working on one thing. So anyway, long story short, definitely a comparison to consider when you're out shopping for supplements and what you're putting in your body, right? Your body's going to have to process these dyes. This is why we're detoxing, first of all, because you might have had this product, for example. We need to get these
because they're everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's in your food.
It's everywhere. I know. There's so much stuff snuck in our food, and it's it's just one of those things where even breathing in air, we're exposed to thousands of toxins. And so we've got to be able to really give our system the support it needs to do what it's designed to do. And that's to heal itself, right? To do these, whatever it does in different organ systems to be able to work together. So,
Yeah.
So with that being said, I wanted to bring up Prop 65. We're going to do a short clip on this in addition to this, but we just want to touch on this because I initially had this question too, like, wow, Prop 65, why do I have a warning label on my product? You know, what does that mean? And so dug a little deeper, and I felt like this was important to bring in here because we do have that label, but also what it really is and what it isn't. So I'm going to give this to you, Stephanie, because I feel you had a great way to explain this and a great comparison too.
So the Prop 65 label is something that Designs for Health has to put on certain products to be in compliance with the state of California.
Mhm.
And it only applies to the state of California. You won't see a Prop 65 label on anything in other states. It's just here in California. So for those of us here, we may see a Prop 65 label on, say, the Detox kit. And it's the label will say something scary like Prop 65, reproductive harm, something.
Yeah.
And what California did was they basically said you have to put a Prop 65 label on anything that contains over a teeny tiny amount, this 0.5 micrograms, you can see in the highlighted portion there, 0.5 micrograms of lead in something. And we hear lead and we get really scared, right? Immediately think lead is toxic. Well, lead is naturally occurring in the soil along with other minerals and iron and so forth. So it's naturally occurring in the soil. Anything grown in soil is going to have some teeny tiny, at least, amount of lead. So that includes things that you buy at the grocery store. Spinach, actually, you can see this food list here.
Yeah.
It's a handy reference to compare what you would find in foods. And this is just normal. It's not scary. It's interesting to know. But in shrimp, we're going to get 23 micrograms of lead, or we're going to in our spinach, right? So technically grocery stores, although I don't see this much, to be honest, Sandy, grocery stores legally and technically need to post a Prop 65 notice in the produce section because all of our produce is grown in soil that may contain lead.
Right.
Or does contain, tiny amounts of lead. So long story short, our raw materials are real foods, come from real foods grown in real soil that contains small amounts of lead. And although the FDA says that 25 micrograms is a safe level of lead for pregnant women, and that's not your general population, but pregnant women where they have a placenta feeding these things through to an infant, the Prop 65 max level is this 0.5 micrograms, so almost nothing. So it's, so you're going to be over that 0.5 micrograms just by nature of having raw materials that were grown in soil. So long story short, the label's there because California has this rule that the supplement industry is kind of lobbying against because it's, you can get your 7 micrograms in spinach and never see that label, but you might have that 0.5 micrograms in a supplement that's not at a dangerous level, even according to the FDA, but the label has to go there.
Right. That's good. That's good. We'll get a little more in depth, I think, on a separate video, but it's good to know because if you look at this list, we're eating most of these things on a daily basis. Sweet potato, 7.2, right? Shrimp, 23. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's to show it's not,
right. Yeah. So again, this is just a label that's put on. Now, other supplement companies I've seen do not do this, but honestly,
they can get a huge fine for that, as can the grocery store.
Yeah, I think you see
they're taking a risk.
Like you see a little sign. I
think they hide a sign somewhere.
It's like, what does that mean? Is the bag got lead? They don't even like point to anything.
But I've seen it. I have seen it on various products, sometimes at the regular store. But but we do stay in compliance. I mean, as a company, we're very transparent and follow the rules. So
No, I think that's great. And that was good to definitely touch on, because I know that is a question that people should be asking if they see that. What is that? You know, and I
Yeah.
always want to be upfront and again, transparent and look at the science really. So awesome. Thank you for that. So again, for quality, right? The products in general with Designs for Health definitely have some good high quality for them, right? So
yeah, you just want to look for things for products that come from companies that are GMP certified for good manufacturing practices, and that have some kind of third-party certification, like our NSF certification. That's the National Science Foundation. But these are third parties that come in and check your processes and your manufacturing and make sure that everything is quality and you know, because it is unregulated. But having a third party come in and give you that you know, the stamp of their symbol says this is a good quality product.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, definitely we want to look for, I think third-party tested makes a huge difference because it's obviously not biased, right? It's not like you pay them off either, right? So
right, exactly. It's unbiased, third party. And when, you know, we mentioned that supplements are unregulated, it's frightening. Actually, a supplement can go on the shelf and it actually doesn't. And many supplements have been caught in this, where say they have a certain amount of vitamin C, right? And then they get to a lab tests it and finds, oh, it doesn't have any vitamin C in it, or it has a lot less than it says it has, or it, you know, or it contains mold or pesticides or other unwanted things that a third party lab can test and say, no, this meets our quality standards.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think Stephanie and I are going to do another webinar like this, but strictly on the supplement world. I feel like it's really important to for awareness for it. Not like we're against other companies. It's just I'm against somebody putting something out there that is not what it says it's supposed to be, or the quality isn't there. I have an issue with that, especially as a practitioner and somebody who takes a lot of supplements. So so that's great. That's awesome. So yeah, so hopefully we clarified some things for you on this. And when you get the kit and you see that, you're like, oh, that's right, Prop 65. Okay, we can send you some documents on that as well. So you can do your own research. And that's important as well, right?
Yeah,
and be really comfortable. So if you're ready for the detox, I know I am. Stephanie,
so ready, Sandy.
I know, I'm so excited. I have the kit, so hey. So you do want to purchase it ahead of time. So you would just go to, literally, you can just go to sandyjstar.com/shop and you'll see the first icon there will be the 14-day group reset plan. So go ahead and check it out. I'll try to put something in the link as well. And hopefully this was helpful for those of you who have already joined this, because I'm uploading this in Well World. So that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, but I want to thank you, Stephanie, for coming on and always being here for us with Designs for Health and just helping us just bring good stuff to people and in a well-rounded way. So